Hello, beautiful people. This is your girl, Mommy So True. What's up, guys? Welcome to a survivor's world, the place where the most imperfect beings can come and thrive because you're learning about yourself. You're learning about what you went through, why it's affecting you the way it's affecting you, why life looks the way it's looking, and you're reestablishing your power. You're obtaining empowerment so life can be different for you, better. This is a Thrivers channel. Welcome. If you're new here, welcome to you. Shout out to all of my subscribers, my day oneers. Shout out to y'all, family. I am so happy that you're here. It's a blessed day to be here. Thank you for taking a moment to hear me speak because I want to share with you authentically, especially if you were raised by narcissistic parents, came out of a narcissistic background. There's a reason why you attract these toxic people. There's a reason why you're going through what you're going through. And I want to be transparent with you about my own so that you can do better, so that you feel empowered to stay on the course that you are and remain highly boundaried. I want to talk to someone who needs this today because if you are anything like me, you are a victim of circumstance. You literally went through this unwillingly, but you're going through this to learn some life lessons, some vital life lessons. It's going to be up to you to really learn those lessons, though, so you can put a stop to this mess that you're caught up in unwillingly. My goodness, whoever I'm talking to, bear with me while I share this message with you on today. And if you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe. I want to start by saying it's time that you forgive yourself and reconcile with yourself. Forgive yourself for betraying yourself, because now that you're older, like me, there's no more excuses for entering into these toxic relationships. We have knowledge now, and behind that knowledge should be empowerment. And the last thing I ever want to do is be a hypocrite, somebody who is just sitting here saying stuff and not living it myself. I've always told you guys from the beginning, my story. Raised by a narcissistic parent, lived in a narcissistic culture, living in a narcissistic society, went into narcissistic relationships, which turned into a marriage, now out of it and still encountering that same type of cycle. So I got to a point where I'm like, okay, girl, get this shit together. Because girl, you are too good to keep finding yourself in this wash, rinse, repeat cycle of abuse. First of all, if you are anything like me, if this resonates with you, I know it does, because this is how you were raised. And I'm going to take that back, because the truth is you were never raised. You raised yourself. You raised yourself. There was no parent. I don't care if they provided a roof over your head and gave you food to eat. That's what they were supposed to do. So if you weren't loved on, if you were neglected and abandoned and you just did not matter, your emotions never mattered, you don't know what love is, and that's how your life looks now. That's how your life looks now. And I'm at a point in time in my life at this age where I can be transparent and sit here and tell you, it's time to take your power back. It's time to understand true self-love, because to me, that is the answer. If you've been around narcissistic people, you don't really know what true self-love is, let alone know what real love is. And that is the main reason why we get caught up in these toxic manipulationships, these sick-ass addictionships, these whack-ass situationships with narcissistic people. I just want to give you 10 traits that make you attract them. Just 10 traits, because there is a reason that if this is happening to you over and over, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. Because some of us, we've been programmed to attract this. We've been programmed to be paradise for narcissistic people. And part of taking our power back is learning what that looks like, what that means, and how to stop it. That number one trait is having poor boundaries. Having poor boundaries. When you've grown up around people who didn't respect your boundaries, gave you no privacy, let alone taught you what boundaries are, you don't know what they are. And so you probably have little to no boundaries. And so whenever someone comes in your space, you don't know how to push them away. You don't know how to say no. You don't know how to not just go with the flow. Poor boundaries. Secondly, people pleasing. Putting other people's needs before yours. That's why in that narcissistic relationship, you found yourself putting their needs before yours. Why? Because you were taught to always avoid conflict. This is why you people please. Because you were in an environment full of hatred, full of loudness, toxicity, trauma, issues, raping, molesting, lying, cheating, stealing. And you were this empathetic child in it, now a grown ass person who have learned to always just try to please everybody in the room, everybody in the family, the husband and the narcissistic woman that you're with, because you don't want them flipping out. You don't want them talking about you. You don't want them misbehaving and treating you worse than they already are. So you learn to people please. You learn to try to be there for them in ways that is you doing too much. You're going above and beyond. You're trying to buy stuff in advance. You're trying to make sure they are highly comfortable. You're trying to make sure they got money in their pocket, so you're going without. You asking if they're okay and you're not. Oh my God. Trait number 3, believing you can fix or save people, especially partners in relationships. When you have that belief, you're limiting yourself to attracting people who come to you wanting to be rescued. You're attracting narcissistic people who still need a baba from their mama and think that you're going to be the one to do it. That's why you're dealing with that grown ass baby, because you have this limited belief that you can fix people, or that you have this power and this gift and this skill to fix people, and it's trash. You need to throw that trash out of your mind. And that brings me to number 5, romanticizing relationships and ignoring those red flags. Coming from a narcissistic background, not understanding what it takes to be in a strong relationship, not understanding what it takes to thrive in a strong marriage. You out here just looking for love in all the wrong places, because I'm this sucker for love, and I'm this, I'm just a hopeless romantic. We say stuff like that, and we're not realizing all that is doing is making you a magnet for narcissistic, toxic people to be in your life. Oh my God, it's time we take our power back, y'all, because the cycle is over. Enough is enough. We're tired. No more being abused, misused, misunderstood, taken for granted. No more being talked about when you gave your all, when you gave a benefit of a doubt. That is trash. We got to get rid of that trash. No more, I'm just going to give them a benefit of a doubt. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because guess who suffers at the end? You. And then you got to sit somewhere and beat yourself up full of, self-hatred, self-betrayal. And then you got to sit somewhere and try to heal from that on top of all of your other issues. It's time we cut the cord to these narcissistic people, because enough is enough. We're not interested in ending up in this same place 10, 20, 30 years from now. No, we're not. No, we are not. Number 6, not feeling good enough or worthy of love. When you don't feel like you're good enough or worthy of love, you may not even find yourself with a narcissist, but you're definitely going to find yourself in a toxic relationship, because having that type of limited belief, it sets you up for failure. Now you're going to be trying to serve this person. You're attracting people who are undervalued when you believe that your value isn't good enough. You're attracting people who don't even respect your value when you truly don't believe that you are good enough. Man, going through Narcissistic programming as a child teaches you that you are not good enough because you were never good enough for that mother. You were never good enough for that father. And I don't care what the narrative is on their end of things. You know your truth. You know how they neglected you. You know how much you wanted to be seen by them, but they never saw you. And when you go through that type of abuse, you spend your life settling for bullshit because you feel like you're just a piece of shit. You don't feel whole and complete all the time. So you go into relationships and you attract relationships where you are treated like that piece of shit. This is programming that we got to get rid of. Number 7, being highly empathetic and sensitive. Too many people use being an empath as a reason to be a dumbass. Me, talking about myself. I'm an empath. I have a good heart. My heart won't allow me to. My heart won't. No, it's not your heart. It's you being stupid because you're being too sensitive. You're letting your emotions control your decisions and it's pulling you down in life. I'm talking about myself. I just want to help one person with my own testimony. I'm not perfect. Never sat here and tried to be, and I'm not going to ever sit here and try to be some perfect mommy so true girl who's sitting here talking. No. I have a lot of strength, a lot of attributes that show and reflect resilience. But on the inside, there's wounds there. There's pain there because I come from something so vile, so disgustingly wicked that it almost destroyed me. And the destruction and the damage only shows when I try to enter into relationships with other people. Seeing how much I've still pulled that type of toxicity in my life because of programming. The healing journey is real. Taking time to really learn what self-love means is vital because it's the lack of self-love that is pulling all these traits and attracting all these toxic partners. And I'm sad for those of us who want to be in love relationships. We want to be with somebody, but it seems like you just can't seem to find them. You can't seem to get in a relationship with no one. You just can't seem to thrive in a relationship past a few months, a couple years or whatever, because something always happens and it falls apart. There's something missing here. And that is a full understanding of what self-love means. I personally understand the work that I still need to do in my life because I know I still attract these toxic demons because there's still a lot of work for me. What? There's still a lot of work for me. My goodness. This one might hit for some of y'all. The tendency to lose yourself in relationships is the reason why you are attracting toxic people. A lot of you don't have that core foundation of self-love, and you meet someone and you really forget everything about who you are, your vision, where you're going, where you're trying to go, the woman that you are, the man that you are. You just throw it all away. You let this person consume your whole being. These are those people who wake up when then they're like, man, I don't even recognize who I am anymore. My God. Then we have history of abusive and toxic relationships. If you've been caught in this cycle more than once before, this is something you've seen yourself doing more than once before. It explains why you are dealing with a narcissist now or why you are trying to heal from one. Because you've been dealing with this type of toxic relationship, wash, rinse, repeat cycle your own entire life because of programming. Because of your own toxic programming. And last but not least, number 10, though, the unhealed trauma from childhood and toxic relationships that a lot of us don't know is unhealed. Healing from childhood trauma is so serious. It's so deep. And depending on the extent and the severity of your trauma, it may be a lifelong journey to heal. When it comes to childhood trauma from a narcissistic parent, I don't expect everybody to understand it. That's not my job for me to help people understand it. I am here to help validate those who have been victimized, those who are going through this, those who had to walk away from these people to save their own mind. Protect your own sanity, because this will make you lose it. I am here as a survivor, thriving in my life, knowing that I will make mistakes because of what I've come from. But the empowerment behind that is recognizing those mistakes, looking at them closely, addressing them, and doing what I need to do to make sure that doesn't happen again. Because now what I'm seeing is I may not attract them the same way as before or like the previous time, but it's always the same result because there's still the same issues that have not fully healed yet or have not been fully worked on, and that is okay. That's why I take self-care serious. I will always utilize resources that are going to benefit and help me grow and thrive through this. It's not easy, but it can be done. And don't beat yourself up because you are not perfect. You may leave a narcissist next week and run into another one tomorrow. Like, you're not just going to be some healed, strong person who just don't run into any narcs overnight. No, it takes time. You have to get there. You have to be willing to put in the work to get there, though. And what I'm knowing now more than anything is that it takes God. It's God, man. God. Because only God knows the true suffering that you're enduring. Only God knows the truth behind the pain that's been caused in your life. I have a deeper understanding of some things, and I know for sure the devil won't get me how the devil used to get me. I now know that my niceness, my sweetness, my empathy is nothing but fuel for me to stay stuck with toxic people. I have to learn how to manage who I am. I have to understand who this girl really is. Man, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. Love on yourself. And allow yourself to thrive and move forward in life. I'm with you. Keep thriving. Until next time. Bye.